Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy September. So, today is the 1st of September 2025. I hope that you are all well. I love September. It's probably because it's my birthday month, but also when I was younger, I know I've told you this before, I used to love um, getting like a mid-year diary from now, and it often feels like a new year for me. So I don't know if any of you resonate with that. Um, I actually love autumn as well. I love the colours. Um, I love the feeling that nature's letting go, um, and that we should be doing that too. Um, yeah, it's just, for me, it's just a really nice time of year. So I hope you can feel that coming from me, and I hope that you perhaps resonate with some of that. Of course, you could well be hanging on to what's left of the heat, and that's also fine. So we have a powerful week this week, various planetary activity. But essentially, this week is all about making the changes you want to make in your life. New beginnings, fresh starts. Strengthen your spiritual foundations is very important this week as well. So, what does that mean? So, what are your spiritual practices? Do you connect in with your soul and your higher self each day, or do you connect in with your guides, the universe, source, whatever your names are for these things? Do you make time for that connection? Because as you know, I've been talking about this for a long time now, as of many others, that we are moving more now towards a soul-led existence and moving away from our egos as much as possible. So it's really important that we connect in more than ever, and especially I feel there are so many mistruths out there at the moment, in the news, especially the media, social media. Really, nobody knows what's right. I don't think we can trust any of it, actually. So this is where our discernment comes in. When we read something or see something, how does it feel right? Very important. And of course, to be able to do that, you need to strengthen your foundation, your spiritual foundation, so your basic connections every day. And it may well be that over the summer, been busy with other things and you've let that go. Really important this week to bring that back in, because we've got the Pisces full moon lunar eclipse on the 7th, which is Sunday, I believe. And Pisces is all about dropping into your intuition, surrendering, having that deep trust. Hi, Orla. Hope you're recovering well. So, I feel in August in particular, I've been cracked open. I actually feel like I'm not really sure where I'm heading. And I feel like a lot of things that I felt were certain are not. I also feel quite vulnerable, actually. But I am in deep trust. I am in deep trust that the universe has my back. I'm in deep trust that if I follow my intuition, which is what I've been doing, you'd think I'd be doing it all the time, doing what I do, but I've definitely been doing it on another level the last few months. I know that as long as I follow my intuition, it's not going to lead me in the wrong direction, although sometimes when I'm receiving intuitively, my ego tries to convince me otherwise, because some of it's shocking to my ego, some of it's hurtful, but actually I know it's true. So then you're in this, or I'm in this position of really feeling something, really knowing something on that level, but then what do you do with it? You know, because some of the truths I'm being shown me might mean that I need to really shake up my life. So that can be tricky, because then we want to go, oh, it doesn't matter, that can't possibly be true, I'm making it all up, I'm just going to go back into, you know, that comfort zone that I've been in. This is eclipse season. If you're feeling like me, it's going to be very hard to crawl back into that comfort zone. And if you do, it's likely that eclipse season will go, no, you can't. And it will do something to really insist that you're really awake to your intuition and to your deep, deep knowings. So, my lovelies, it's really time to trust yourselves. It's really time to do that deep inner work, to really, really listen to what your intuition is telling you. And this week is really highlighting that. So a lot of us will feel this need for change. And if we don't make that change, then obviously nothing will change. Obviously, we're going to get the same results, but at the same time, because of an eclipse season, we might also be being pushed. So it's much better to come from a place of choosing. And that's a note to self as well. So you could also find this week, because Mercury is moving into Virgo tomorrow. Virgo is about logic, practicalities, order, that your mind becomes a bit clearer and you're able to focus. And as the week goes on, there is this desire for change coming in. In fact, it's already here, but it's really being shown this to you this week, or it should be. So there's also a feeling like wanting to clear the clutter as well. You know, you need to get rid of things to allow new to come in. And that could be the clutter of your mind as well, but I also think it's physical clutter. Which is interesting in my case, because I'm building clutter at the moment. Because I get things that my son needs to move into university with. So there's loads of boxes around at the moment. I'm thinking, I can't necessarily clear that just yet. But I don't think that's necessarily that for me. I think for me, it's more about really continuing to deepen my connection, and so that my mind and my ego could trust what I'm doing. Yeah. I'm saying all this to you, not because I'm trying to share my deep revelations, but because it may resonate with you. Yeah. So, let's bring in my guides to see what else they have to say. But it very much is the case that the old is crumbling and will not work for many of us going forward. Right. Hello everyone, it's a pleasure to be here. Yes, it's a pivotal moment for humanity, but it's also, but more importantly, as you're tuning in, it's no coincidence, it's a pivotal moment for you. You're sort of in the midst of eclipse season now, and it can be a scary thing because eclipses are doorways and they really highlight what's not working in your life. And if you ignore those kind of warnings and nudges, then it's likely that the universe will take things from you that need to be taken, but perhaps not in a way that you would want. So much better for you to decide to make those changes yourself, because then you feel it's more in your control. But maybe some of you don't really know what the changes are, and therefore you need that help from the universe. So this is a really good time to really trust that you are being looked after, and even though some of the changes incoming might not feel that way, please know they are for your highest good. All right. Really be in that trust. Surrender, let go, hand over to your higher self. Because that's the only way, really, you're going to make any sense of this. And the only way you're really going to feel that everything is all right. Because it really is about the feeling. There are lots of things going on, of course, always planetary wise. Saturn moving back into Pisces is all about, you know, trusting yourself as well. Mercury in Virgo is getting you organized, or really clearing your mind, clearing your thinking. And then you have the super full moon, not the super full moon, but the full moon lunar eclipse at the weekend in dreamy Pisces. But Pisces is deeply intuitive, you know. So it's really about that trust again. And full moons are always about letting go, aren't they? But this one is particularly so. So think back to the intentions you made at the new moon in Virgo recently, and see what you can clear with this full moon to allow those intentions to flourish. Of course, it's not just a question of sitting back and meditating all the time. It's not just a question of sitting there and hoping everything will work out. You need to take aligned steps. You need to take aligned action. All right. Now, don't feel like if you don't do everything this week, then you won't be able to get where you want to be. That's not the case. But this week is a really good week to really start the process. This week is a really good week to set the tone for the next few weeks and for the rest of the year. All right. Don't forget, this is a universal 9 year, so it is about endings, it's about completions, and it's about letting go. Ready for the universal 1 year next year. Okay. So we hope this makes sense. We would just invite you to really each day tune into, is this what I want? Is this what I desire? Does this feel right? Does this feel right in my body? Before making your decisions, before taking your action. And if you can do that each day, then you're already on the right track. Okay? And if you're unsure, then of course we are here to help you and to guide you if you wish. All right, so have a good week. Don't overthink it, feel it. We'll be back next week. Okay, so I hope that made sense. Yes, obviously, if you are in this kind of like, I know I need to shift things, I know things need to change, but I'm really not sure where to start, then there's my spirit guide hotline. You can contact with your question or questions, or you can have an individual, more, I was going to say intense, but I meant more bespoke kind of session over Zoom with me, one-to-one, where I can channel my guides for you as well. And there's various other tools I can use, like accessing your Akashic records or accessing your soul plan, that sort of thing. So I am here to help you. So if you need me, please contact me and we can work out what sort of a session would be useful for you. All right, so take care. I hope your week unfolds as it should. I'm sure it will. Remember to check in every day with your intuition, preferably at the beginning of the day if you can, but in all moments where you need to make a decision, really check in. Does this feel right? Okay. And I will be back next week. Bye for now.